little dress. Back it up and me make the man them obsessed. Put in the work when we dance and we sweat. Dangerous.
Well, you folks at home can see the evidence. Snow and supposedly a few inches yet to fall here at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. Britton Covey going to bring it out of his end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up. The 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Great, set. Man.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Oh, and that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere.
Hey, easy, 63, bang.
Throwing is Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the touchdown, Philadelphia! Dallas Goedert, 36 yards. And the Eagles put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Scott on the return, out of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now a guy who went to prep school right here in Philly, DeAndre Swift. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 22 and a first down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8. Working out of the gun, Williams. They'll get this complete to the rookie from Washington. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 34-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Second down in a yard. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Oh, felt like that move deserved more than he got there. A gain of 2. 2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Once again, it's Swift. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. To throw, Williams. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
A first down carry for Barkley. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, 38 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take over here up near the 40. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
73!
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And that one hits at the 7 but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the
over the middle, and there's a diving catch. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
I know it looks like fun to guys like you and me. We're up here in the booth and to everyone watching on television, but are you kidding me? In the snow, that type of a play, in the cold, you know that had to hurt to make that play.
I'm just mad he didn't make a snow angel while he was down there. Opportunity missed.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Still on his feet.
And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So his struggles just continuing here in the first half throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Here's Williams. A pass complete to Odunze.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
To throw, it's Williams. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. That is caught, and he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Williams with a little touch pass forward.
And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
DeAndre Swift.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bears are on the board here in the final minute of the 1st half.
Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And with a 17-7 lead, maybe they're just looking to get into the locker room.
And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there.
It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the 1st half. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the 1st half of play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, 43 yards. And the Bears have cut it back within a score. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Across midfield, Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley. He scored on the ground and through the air as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, on that long touchdown, look, the pass was fine, but it was short. What Saquon did after the catch, that's impressive.
And that's just demoralizing if you're on the defensive side of the ball, too, because if he catches a short one, that's your opportunity to tackle him, put him on the ground, and get up for the next down. Instead, he makes a move, he makes people miss, he runs through tackles, he spins, he jukes, and he continues to run, because once he gets into the open field and turns it loose, he can fly.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, that offense trying to erase that deficit, get a little bit closer here, and climb back into this game in the 3rd quarter. Instead, they further their disadvantage, Charles, with a pick-6.
And that defense came out willing to do anything necessary to defend that lead. I think they looked around the huddle and said, who's going to make the big play? Who's it going to be? And the person just ended up in the end zone with the football. He was the one that answered the bell.
Elliott Good with a PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Buying time to his left.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And now here is another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
Tyreek Stevenson picks it off, and the Bears are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Now a give right side Swift.
Well, the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Looking to throw is Williams. And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter.
To the air, Williams.
He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one goes for 30 yards.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the fourth is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift running left.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Throwing is Williams.
And my goodness, another interception. And now the rookie's free.
Down to the 10.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And that last pick-6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Moore, the man in motion. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And that one drops down incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
63, 63, 63. No touch.
They go play action with Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. On the end around, here comes Smith. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
From the 43, here's second down and 8.
Great. Set. Alpha. No touch.
Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 27-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. Hurts. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Barkley sidestepping his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Well, wherever he is on the field, he is certainly slippery with a football in his hands, and he proved it right there.
And normally moves like that aren't supposed to work this deep in the red zone because there's not enough space. Normally way more effective when you're working out in the open field. But here, incredible shiftiness, excellent contact balance, and he works his way into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. 2nd and 10.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw for both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.